All right, everybody, how we doing? Welcome to the Green Apple Podcast. And today I have a dear friend of mine, the Condo Queen, Tina Larsson. She is the co-founder and the owner of the Folson Group. They are revolutionizing how New York City co-ops and condos operate. And like us at Cotocon, they are also a New York City accelerator partner working aggressively to help building owners protect their assets and reduce emissions. So today, we're going to talk about how she works directly with boards and how they're driving real change and how tech fits into the future of building information. So everybody, let's welcome Tina to the show.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad we're doing this.
I know, finally. Isn't this crazy?
I know.
It really is. So Tina, how did you end up building a consulting company that, specializes in just co-ops and condos in New York City? Just how did this all come to be?
So it's a great question, and it's a funny story. So my husband and I, we own a co-op, and we still own a co-op. And a few years into it, we realized that our board was terrible. And we are, by background, we're financial analysts. I've been a business analyst for close to 30 years for the purpose of investing my clients' money in the stock market. And we realized this, and we went like, this doesn't make sense. Why are they increasing our maintenance every year? And they're telling us that this is supposed to operate break even. So we spoke with our neighbors who agreed with us, and we organized a coup.
Oh boy.
So we took over the board, and then I used my financial skills as an analyst to put together a benchmark. You know benchmarks.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Of all the different costs that goes into running a building. And we were, in the first 3 years, we were able to save our co-op $340,000. That was 10% of our operating budget. In that we realized, and that was 3 years, and in that we realized that there are 3 limitations to a board. So if you're a multifamily owner, you are running a business. It's a for-profit business. This is your full-time job. You might have a whole team, but this is your full-time job, and this is your profit. Pocket money right down in your pocket if you save any money. For co-op and condo boards, those are the 2 million New Yorkers own an apartment in New York. You can rent or you can own. And if you own a co-op or condo. Those then elect a little miniature government, which is the board. The board, they have a full-time job, they have hobbies,
Careers, they're all professionals.
Family. They don't have time to do an entire extra job. So they lack time. They lack, in many cases, knowledge of how a building operates, and they lack the support because they hire a property manager, and the property manager needs to have 5, 6, 7, 8 buildings. That's like running 5, 6, 7, 8 businesses. So they don't have time to do any extra work.
So they get a lot of things wrong.
Well, they lack time too.
Yeah.
So there was this void which made us realize that we needed to fill that void. And that's why we set up the Folson Group 11 years ago.
Wow, that's awesome. That is really, really good and challenging. And we see what's going on today, which leads me to really believe, and us believe, boards aren't perfect. They don't get things right. They get things wrong, and how you really fix it. And considering that you work with boards every day, where do you typically see them struggling when it comes to building performance and local law 97 that's at the forefront today? So how do you see that?
So the way that what boards are struggling with when it comes to local law 97 or overall performance of buildings is really that there are too many options and there are too many difficulties So
That is
a
a
mid-century
great point.
building, there's not enough electric capacity, right? So it's not like you can just
Yeah.
electrify the building, or
Yeah,
it's,
everyone talks, let's electrify. How about the infrastructure? You
Yeah.
have antiquated infrastructure. Does anyone take that into consideration?
Yeah, or-
That's a great point you bring up.
or we had a board who called us and said, we want to do geothermal. You can't do geothermal. Have you seen Manhattan? There's a lot of subways there, a lot of gas lines all over the place, right? Or buildings who say to us, oh, we want to install solar. Solar is great, but if you think about it, if you have a one-story house, or if you have it, think about an IKEA. So it's like 3 stories and it's huge. It's, I don't know how many square feet it is.
Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, they have a big roof. They can install lots of solar panels that will feed electricity to 3 stories. Think about a 30-story building in New York City, and then you have this little roof in comparison to all of this electric needs. So it's not a feasible.
Yeah, exactly. The
thing.
return on investment
Yeah, so-
isn't really, you know.
So there are really a lot of options. Now, when it comes to local law 88, the light fixtures, right? That has been one. We have been rolling out that for the last 14 years. Before we started Folson Group, because we started with our own building, putting light fixtures, LEDs on motion sensors. It's the quickest bang for your buck.
Absolutely.
But 97, it's really complex.
So you find it very challenging in educating the board members and inspiring them due to just significant challenges with a lot of options, you know, which kind of, I guess, leads and rolls us into the New York City Accelerator. And, you know, as I guess I said earlier in the intro, the Folson Group, like us, we are big advocates to the New York City Accelerator. And we have both had very good experiences. We've met a lot of friends there. There's a good group of people. And, you know, considering all these options and things are different, is there maybe something that you could recommend or talk about your kind of experience with the accelerator and how programs like these are vital for co-op and condo boards? You know, they could visit the shows, get a little bit of experience, then kind of weed down. Is something maybe come to mind about that, you know, and sharing that thought?
Absolutely. And New York City Accelerator is a great program, in my opinion, your opinion. And it provides a lot of resources. Now, they are, because it's a mayor's office, or it's related to the mayor, they can provide a lot of information, and they can provide a lot of resources, and they connect us, vendors, service providers, with the people who are reaching out to them, so property owners or co-op and condo boards. So it's a very good platform and resource. What we're seeing is that very often boards, there are too many options. Again.
Yeah. Do they think these laws are real, the
Yes.
boards?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I mean, the boards that speak with us, those are boards that are aware. They're aware that there are all of these different laws that they have to comply with, and they are also aware that it's too overwhelming for them. So the people who are relying on everybody else to do this for them, they're not our clients. Yeah. So the people who reach out to us are boards, and actually multifamily property owners lately.
They're knowledgeable.
They know enough that they don't know how to get this done. And they do not know how to make the proper selection.
I hope you guys take that under advisement, right? That was a great point. That it is really, you know. And did they understand the urgency of them?
Yes and no.
No, yeah.
So some do. We have a board, for instance, that want to electrify their building, and they want to abandon the boiler, and they understand that they had 160 pages of reports from their FlexTex consultant and from Accelerator and from some other places, and then they had a local law 87 report from a few years ago. And when we said to them, what did you do about any of, they said, oh, but it's so old, so what's the purpose of you reviewing it? And we're like, well, it's 9 years old, but did you do any of these items?
I find that's so true. I can't tell you how many clients who call us, from the consulting and are different, with the laws and this stuff that we specialize not dealing with boards on a daily basis at all in any way, shape, or form. But we find that too, like they have a stack of reports and they've been done 9 years ago, 8 years. Have you done anything? Have you guys addressed this? I can't give you another report. I don't even want to take another dollar from you. It's ridiculous. You have to take action.
And we often, on that point, we often tell boards when they say, oh, we've been told that we need a FlexTech report. And we're like, no, you have plenty of reports. We don't need another report.
You don't
need to pay.
You need to take action.
Yeah, you don't need to pay $24,000 for another report, even if Nusurda pays for half of it. Here's what we need you to do. We need you to send you what you have, and we're going to go through the items that we can do now that have low payback or high payback and high ROI and
exactly.
low investment. And then we'll start with those, and then we can run a FlexTech report.
Yeah. So it seems like you frame it as it's not a burden for these people. You're focusing on those, like you said, what is a low value and a higher impact. We talked about the lightings and things before, but it's more so of a protection for them, these co-op and condo owners, thus the two avenues of ownership, and how they can make more of a long-term protection on their asset. Definitely, it's definitely challenging. I see that.
It's challenging, and it's very inspiring because you can really make a big difference in a lot of people's lives by reducing costs.
Sure.
And
sure.
one of the things is that there are a lot of energy consultants like Cotocon, but there's a lot of energy consultants that provide these reports, and then the board doesn't know what to do, and then they come to us and they said, but they didn't do anything, and we're like, it's not their job.
They're just worried about taking the dollars, the couple of dollars, and unfortunately, it's very sad. And people have come into this industry, and which really kind of leads us to a big thing about this whole conversation and why we really want to get together and explaining about boards and thus local law 97 and compliance in co-ops and condos, right? Let's talk about that. What's the general level of awareness, among them? Are they aware? Is it that they're still just kind of in the dark? How do you feel? Can you give us some insight?
So are boards aware of local law 97? Yes. Are they aware of the exact details or the impact? Probably not. But the boards that reach out to us, they are aware enough to know that they need to do something. In most cases, they don't even have to comply this year. We have one of our clients has to comply this year, because it's affordable. So they have to comply this year, but they only have to comply one time.
Yeah.
And but then it's going to have to be a continuation of improvement. They only have to do these 9 things. Is it 13 or 9?
13, prescriptive 13. Energy conservation, very good.
So they have to do the 13 things now.
That's in Article 321. I guess, folks, what Tina's trying to say, right? These things are definitely a little bit challenging, and sometimes there's a little bit of a misconception of, oh, my building might qualify for this, but it really doesn't. And what the city has created are these covered buildings list, if you will, and it really breaks down what's the avenue that your building should go down, right? So hopefully that really kind of puts people on the same road, which is important because I think as we're evolving, do you feel that where like tech fits into, technology, information, in the future of kind of building management? I know you've recently seen the carbon shield that we put together, and people could visit that, and you could go look at your building, and you're looking at, everyone's concerned about their local law 95, their energy grade. They're concerned about their benchmarking Energy Star scores, of course, relating to how much energy you're consuming, thus the amount of emissions, leading up to local law 97. So do you guys feel like technology and things are something that boards are interested in? What do you think of that?
Okay, so it's a great question. Does technology, how does it play a role in measuring information or measuring use? And I'm going to quote Peter Drucker, because he said, what gets measured gets done. Okay? But the problem is, again, and I'm going to come back to the same thing again, boards are volunteers. Running a building is very, very complex. So they have families, they have a full-time job, and they can't miss out on playing golf. So they don't have any time. So the likelihood of boards logging into a platform and getting this information is slim to none.
Yeah.
Is it available? Yes. Is it a great platform? Absolutely. So the question is, who can you get? And the same for property managers. So the property managers, they have 7 buildings. They don't have time to log into the platform either. Now, some property management firms have a dedicated energy person or a division, right? So they might log in. The resident manager might log into it. So and your platform is fantastic, but there are some alternative platforms. So there's the platforms for the ones who reduce the demand charges.
Yeah.
And there's
there's a lot of different opportunities. I think, specifically from demand response, is an opportunity. I think in today's technology, as we were talking earlier, like some pre-war buildings, back in the day, everybody would the boiler called for a certain type of heat. They were really just monitoring one general, maybe outside temperature. They weren't worried about all the rest of the entire building. So as technology and the internet and the web and all this other good stuff has come to fruition, it definitely helps people control buildings and really the resident manager and really the manager would take place.
And on that note, when it comes to technology, how technology has evolved in improving tenants' comfort, sure, etc. We don't have to have the windows open all the time because it's too hot in our apartments anymore, which was the case 15 years ago, right? So we have evolved, and that reduces the energy use, of course, and carbon emissions also. But there are other technologies that play into that. So like sensors have been instrumental. Mm-hmm. So we are talking about energy, but there are lots of other items that goes into running a building that are very instrumental. So one problem that buildings often have, they have problems with energy use, they have problems with leaks, they have problems with fires, and all of those relate to insurance. So there are so many different aspects that relates to energy, but it might not necessarily be energy. And all of those have really been enhanced and made safer and better because of sensors and technology. So it plays an instrumental
role. Coming, and I guess I would imagine, of course, that leads me to a question. Cost and HOA fees and things like that. Do some of the boards, or as I guess, fines and violations, it's so much more cost effective to comply with these local laws than to combat them. It's way cheaper to do it than not.
Yes.
Do they feel, are they concerned that, hey, my HOA charges are expensive already? What's really going to impact, how's it going to come? Is that becoming a kind of a big issue, consider insurance, is cost of energy? Who knows what's happened with electricity cost? Is it going to be doubled real soon? There's a lot of challenges out there.
There are a lot of challenges.
And what do you see with that? Like, are they very fearful?
No. It's the same thing. No matter what you talk about,
You got to pay.
half people feel this way and half people feel this way. It's 50-50 no matter what we talk about. We can argue about which color is better, red or green. And
Yeah. I like green.
I like red.
That's awesome. That's really
But
good.
it's the same thing. That some boards, some owners are very fearful, and some are not. And I think that the main point on that is just to chip away a little bit. So we support, we educate, we are therapists, coaches to boards, we do it all and strategic partners. But in that, education and support is a big part of it that we need to
Stay ahead of. Yeah.
And we look at the fines, and for most of our clients that are our clients who did hire us, the fines are very minimal.
Yeah, and then if anything's coming at 2030
and
again.
we just look at one of our buildings. We have done the electrical upgrades, and we install a BMS, and we have done a lot of stuff, not everything.
Yeah, you're waiting for the reward now. Exactly. It's got to take time. When you do something today, yes, it takes a while.
But that building, and it's a huge building, 200 units, and their first fine is in 2035, and it's $2,000 per year in comparison to 200
50
units.
cents onto your HOA bill.
Yeah.
So, final advice for board members. If you could give one piece of advice to a hesitant board member, a president, a treasurer, someone listening right now, what would it be?
Call me.
Besides that.
No, okay. So the one piece of advice that I would give to a board member who sees this right now, I'm talking to you, is that you need to do something now. You don't have to do the biggest thing. You don't have to spend $5 million on replacing the windows. There are plenty of items that we can do now, and we have yet to see a building that had done all of the low-hanging fruit cost items that have very high return on investment and very low simple payback that we can roll out right now that is within your budget. So we want to take action now.
No. Excellent, excellent advice. So Tina, the Condo Queen, this has been really powerful, and I am so thankful that you came on the show. Where could listeners connect with you? Where could they kind of find you? You want to just tell them where to go?
Absolutely. So where can you find me? You can find me on our website. It's called the Folson Group. That's with an N. And we have a resource page where you can download lots of free downloadable tools. One of them is the Local Law 97 Toolkit. And you can follow us there and download the free tools, or it's thefolsongroup.com.
All right.
See you then.
That's awesome. So thank you again for being on the Green Apple Podcast and all that you're doing for New York City, the New York City Accelerator, and helping buildings do more than comply, helping them thrive. Peace and love, everybody. I'm the Green Father out. You know where to find us. Have a great one. Be safe.